Hey everybody, happy Monday. Just a reminder for you, don't skip brain day.
Yep.
8 random people, 8 random glasses. Now, Keegan.
Yes.
Jack.
Leor.
Do you know the feeling when you hear a song in the radio?
Yep, and it's just in your brain.
It's in your brain and it keeps going again and again and again. It's like stuck to your mind.
Yep.
Can you think of a song like that?
Got it.
You got it? It stuck to your brain?
I got it.
Can you sing it in your mind? But be careful not to let it.
Yeah, that's the best lick. Kill it, Jack. Shred it.
Okay, you can stop. So, so it's a song that stuck to your mind?
Yeah.
Can you just hold it without looking, without looking? Hold it without looking, without looking, without looking, without looking, without looking. A song that stuck to your mind. What was the song that stuck to your mind?
I miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, what a levee would die.
What's the name of the...
American Pie.
American
it's called
Pie.
American Pie.
Take a little peek.
John McClane.
Good old boy drinking whiskey and rye. Hubba. Wow!
Dude!
American Pie!
I don't. Come on, man.
Yeah. You know what's crazier?
What's crazy?
There's a little secret hidden here. You know, I was telling you about I'm the mind conductor.
Yes, sir.
Well, this is not the conductor's baton. It is the musician's mullet.
Oh, the mallet.
The mullet. Listen, I have over 50 glasses here. Each one gives different sound, different tune, filled with water, not filled with water. Each one is different. 8 people selected from the audience randomly. They didn't even know which glass they will take.
Literally billions of possible combinations.
Billions of billions. Come with me. Come with me.
All right.
Stand
all
over
right.
here.
Wait a second.
Oh my God.
You go there, Jack.
Jack.
I'm gonna let you get up in it. Get up in it, Jack.
There's no
Remind
way.
me the song
There's
again.
American Pie.
My Miss American Pie.
Okay.
Drove my Chevy to the levee.
I don't know.
what the
I don't
levee
know.
would die.
You took any glass, literally. Any glass you want. Oh my God.
So over the course of this semester, we've looked at our mental health and our mindset. And as we talk about brain fitness, brain exercising, cognitive training, we're focusing on our mind. And our mind is one of two things. It is either a beautiful servant for us, allowing us to think and thrive and do remarkable things, put together calculations, process information, allowing us to think and thrive and do remarkable things, put together calculations, process informations, see things, interpret them, make decisions, come up with ideas, do amazing things. Or our mind can be a dangerous master, or the rest of our body and our wellness succumb to what our mind tells us, the thoughts of negativity, the thoughts and ideas that say we cannot do something, that limit our ability to thrive and pursue greatness and success. Your mind is one of these two things, and we ultimately want it to be a beautiful servant for us. The only way it can is if we work on it. Just like we work on our muscles in the weight room, or we work on our cardiovascular health by running and jumping and moving. Those things happen in our lives because we work on it. Our mind has to be something we work on as well. So it can be one of two things for us: a beautiful servant or a dangerous master. The human brain is pretty incredible. It averages at about 3 pounds and about 15 centimeters in length. Differs between everybody. Some people maybe have a little bit bigger or smaller brain. It doesn't have any impact though on intelligence. So you might think, well, if I have a bigger brain, I have more up here to store, right? So I should be smarter. Science hasn't concluded that as a fact, okay? But that it doesn't have any impact though on intelligence. So you might think, well, if I have a bigger brain, I have more up here to store, right? So I should be smarter. Science hasn't concluded that as a fact, okay? But that's about the size of our human brains. We want to think of it as this great processor. And we want to think of it as a muscle that you work out just like your biceps or quads or glutes or any other muscle group. But it's not really a muscle. There are some muscle components within your brain, but it's more or less gray and white matter. Okay, but it's still pretty incredible, and we want to use it as a muscle, and we'll talk about that later on today. It is the great information processor. Okay, we can use our 5 senses, our smelling, our taste, our touch, our ability to see and visualize. All those 5 senses we can use, and your brain can interpret those 5 senses into deciding what it is you're smelling, or what it is you're looking at, or what decisions need to be made of. I need to make a quick turn left or right because of what I'm seeing or hearing. Your brain is a great processor. It's better than any smart computer, phone, tablet you can really get, and it didn't need an upgrade. It doesn't need an update every couple months. It's pretty incredible all on its own. Now, it's responsible for a number of outcomes in our daily lives that impact our wellness. Our thoughts, the way we think every single day, it impacts our memory, the ability for us to recall information that we need to know for whether it be school or just life. It helps us with our speech, put together sounds and phrases and words and sentences to speak. It also allows us to be in a movement. So your brain can correlate with your body to move, to run, to lift, to jump. So if we don't have a good brain connection, well, how do you think you're going to be able to perform physically? Okay, and it also impacts organ function because your brain can signal to certain organs in your body, hey, it interprets information from the outside world and embodies quite effectively the essence of the mind and our soul. Intelligence, creativity, emotion, and memory are a few of the many things that are governed by our brain. We got one of them. We need to take care of it. Now, you're going to be looking at a couple different things here, some parts, all right? Now, the main parts of our brain are first the cerebellum. You see that is the big little yellow picture there, okay? It's at the bottom and at the rear end of our head. This coordinates more of our muscle movements. It coordinates our posture, our balance. So when you're feeling like I'm a little wonky, I can't stand. This coordinates more of our muscle movements. It coordinates our posture, our balance. So when you're feeling like I'm a little wonky, I can't stand up straight. Well, it often comes from when somebody maybe hits the back of their head. That's why you feel that uneasiness, that unbalance. We have a brain stem, so that's connected. It connects all the parts, the cerebellum, the cerebrium, and the spinal cord, and it helps your breathing, and it helps your heart rate regulate in your body. And then finally, one of the big ones, the cerebrum. This is the largest part. Okay, this is comprised of 2 hemispheres, left hemisphere and your right hemisphere. It coordinates all the major levels of function that you need to do on a daily basis, okay? Which is why it's the biggest part. So that's what we will focus on. Now, you might have heard left versus right brain, okay? Your left, and it's the biggest part. So that's what we will focus on. Now, you might have heard left versus right brain, okay? Your left and right hemisphere in your brain, they're joined by a bundle of fibers at the corpus callosum that transmits messages from one side to the other side. Each hemisphere is controlled by the opposite side of your body. So your left brain controls your right side. Your right side of your brain, your right hemisphere, controls your left side. This is why, for instance, you see somebody who gets maybe a stroke on the right side. They will lose maybe feeling, or they'll lose movement in their left hand or their left leg or the left side of their face. So know that your left controls your right, and your right controls your left, if you can put that around your brain. Now, here's a couple of things for you. The left hemisphere, that controls your speech, your comprehension, your arithmetic, and your writing. Your right hemisphere controls your creative side, it controls your spatial ability, your artistic ability, and even musical skills. So you can see, maybe based on your interest, are you more left or right brained? A couple other things. Those who use their left brain more efficiently are more logical. They're interested in more mathematic expressions and use of languages. They are pragmatic, and they care more about the results that they have going on. They're interested in clear results. They are better in careers that are around more academics and science because they want that logical fact to the things that they're involved in. Those who use their right brain more efficiently, they're more emotional. They deal better with the visual and the artistic subjects in life. They are purpose-driven and seek an emotional connection. So they got to have that emotional connection of love or passion for the things that they're involved with. They can't just see things as black and white all the time. They're more intuitive and go with their gut, and they're great in careers that require empathy and compassion. Again, that emotional concept. Now, within that cerebrum, there are 4 lobes, okay, comprising the biggest part of your brain. You have the parietal lobe. This interprets language and words. This helps you sense and touch. It helps you realize there's pain maybe going on when you touch something, you touch a hot stove. There's more of a sensory type of output here. It interprets those, say touch something, you touch a hot stove. There's more of a sensory type of output here. It interprets those signals and it connects to your brain. There's the occipital lobe. This interprets vision. So when you see color, you have light reflections. When you see something moving, your occipital lobe connects those dots to your brain. And then the temporal lobe, this helps you understand language. This helps you with memory. So when you hear something, you see something, you store it in your temporal lobe. It also works with hearing and sequencing, overall organization of all the logistics and details that you come across with on a daily basis. All these lobes have a certain key area for you as they're working with your brain to be at its best. Now, we always want to go into the weight room. We want to lift weights. We want to run so we can develop our muscles, right? We want bigger, stronger, or more leaner muscles. We want to see those as evidence from our work on them. But what about our brain? Stronger or more leaner muscles, we want to see those as evidence from our work on them. But what about our brain? It's not a muscle, like I said, it's more gray and white matter, but it is something we can work at and to develop to become better, to develop to become stronger. And you can have all the physical muscles in terms of your arms and legs and stomach that you want. But if you don't also include that one really great mind muscle matter, you're not going to be as best as you can. You're not going to be the well person that you ultimately want to be. So we're going to look at brain fitness, and that is a real thing. Brain fitness or cognitive training is the ability of your brain to learn what the organism needs to know in order to survive in a changing environment. If your brain and mind isn't able to adapt with what's happening in a changing environment, if your brain and mind isn't able to adapt with what's happening on a daily basis, if it's not able to perform at its best, you aren't going to be an optimally well person. So we want to train it just like we train our other muscles on our body. A couple things for you here. It's, again, not a muscle, but it has muscle likeness to it, meaning if you don't use it, you're going to lose it. If you don't engage your mind in practicing fitness concepts for your brain, if you don't work on building a better memory, if you don't work on building better visual vision, if you don't work on problem solving, if you don't work on you being able to see something and have quick reaction time, you're going to lose it. And it's going to slowly degrade over your years. And that vision, if you don't work on problem solving, if you don't work on you being able to see something and have quick reaction time, you're going to lose it, and it's going to slowly degrade over your years. And that's not something you're going to see in a day. You're not going to go from being where you're at today to tomorrow. All of a sudden, I can't recall anything, or I'm having trouble seeing and picking up on things I should be, picking up easily. But over time, when you're 40, 50, 60, if you haven't worked on your brain and you haven't trained it, it's going to degrade on you, and now you're not going to be at your best. So use it or lose it. Evidence suggests that mental stimulation improves brain function and reduces the risk of a decline over the ages of your life. People with Alzheimer's disease, it's not going to get rid of Alzheimer's disease, but it could delay the onset of it. There's also brain plasticity, okay? And what I mean by plasticity is it's malleable. And what do I mean by malleable? It's formable. So if you think of like clay or Play-Doh, you can morph it into whatever shape you want to make it or whatever design you want to make it. Same with your mind. Your mind is able to adjust and grow and become stronger and become more skilled. So why not make it more skilled? Why not train it to become better so that way you can live the life you want to live? So know that. It's neuroplasticity or plasticity, like I said, malleability. Your ability to change and adapt as a result of experience quite often. When you deal with things, when you engage in different activities, you recall those experiences and you build up more and more. There's a couple different types. There's functional plasticity and there's structural plasticity. Functional is the brain's ability to move from functions from a damaged area of the brain to other undamaged areas of the brain. So it uses experiences and or memories to build up, okay, this is how I react, or this is what I do, this is what happens. So it uses the experiences, memories in your life to grow and become changing as you move forward. Or there's structural plasticity. That's your brain's ability to actually change in its physical structure as a result of learning. So we can't really do much with the functional plasticity. Your experiences are what they are. Your memories are what they are, okay? But the structural plasticity of you actually engaging that brain to morph it and make it better, stronger, work faster, work quicker for you, that's something we're going to look at. And then one of the final things with brain fitness is its aging ability. So again, as you get older, your ability to mentally perform goes down. So we want to improve it. We don't want to have it go down as quickly. We don't want you to be 50 and not have the mental cognitive ability. So there's many factors that go into this. We all have different lives. We all have different backgrounds. We all have different makeups of who we are. But believe that if we work on our brain fitness, we can help it be better for ourselves as we move forward. So aging is another factor here for you. Now, different training areas that we can work on with brain fitness involve these, and even some that we might not even realize that we're working on, but like impulse control. So your reaction time to things. That's your ability to think before speaking or resist temptation or see something and then quickly avoid it or quickly jump into it because you know that you want it. Reaction time is key for you. And as you get older and it slows down, you become less likely to maybe choose something that will benefit you because you know that you want it. Reaction time is key for you. And as you get older and it slows down, you become less likely to maybe choose something that will benefit you, or you'll miss out on something, or you could get hurt, okay? Flexible thinking or problem solving is something you can train when it comes to brain fitness. So you're thinking about the ability to solve problems, to adjust to situations and circumstances that happen in your life. If your brain is processing quickly and it's at its best, you're going to do this great. But if it slows down, imagine what life will be like for you. We all never like when a video is buffering or your phone's playing games with you and it's struggling to get connected to the Wi-Fi or it's stalling. So we need to be thinking at our best speed, so this is something we can work on. Your emotional control, your ability to think under pressure. This is something that can be trained. And for many of you, you're saying, well, I'm never going to have to use this. We're all under certain pressures, whether it be at school, work, family life, friendship life, relationship life. If you can think better under pressure, you're going to eliminate stress, you're going to eliminate some of the anxiety, you're going to eliminate some of the other mental health issues that could happen if we let our minds wander off. We have our working memory, our informational recall. This is something that for some of you, you're saying, hey, I have terrible memory already. I don't know, what I'm going to do to help myself. Or you might be saying, hey, I don't have any issues with memory. I remember names and faces pretty well. Well, what if you could, again, make it better? So we're using working memory and informational recall to help build a memory skill set for you so you can recall information quickly. You're not waiting on it. You're not missing out on things. There's also the ability to process information or critically think, okay, when you can factor in a number of things going on and quickly get to the decisions you need to make, the outcomes you ultimately want. There's decision-making skills as well. And this all impacts your wellness because if you need to make the right decision in terms of what you're going to do with your life, how you're going to live your life, what direction you want to go, you need to train your brain to think quickly and not be slowed and not take forever to think through it. You want to be quick on your feet, on your toes, or you want to be quick on your feet, on your toes, or on your brain, I guess. Just a couple areas you can train and work on brain fitness for yourself.
Bigger than the eye. But is that always true? Michael, I'd like to try this as a game with you. Do you have any cash on you?
Yeah.
What do you got?
10.
$10. Okay. Let's do this as kind of like a little bar bet. Crumple it into a ball. Then would you hold out your hand flat above it? Keep your hand flat as you can. As fast as you can, I want to see you grab that bill. It's pretty quick. So what if we escalated that and I took $100? I say finders keepers. We put that as a crumpled ball on the table. That becomes our target. And I'm gonna put my hand about here. So your hand is already halfway there, but do you think it's possible for me to grab the bill before you do?
No.
Okay. When you see my hand begin to move, I want you to grab the money.
Okay.
What do you think? Would you take the bet? Your $10 against Apollo's 100? Plus, you have a 1-foot head start to grab the money first. Of course you would, right? Well, let's see how this plays out.
Wow.
And he wasn't the only one who took the bet.
Dang it.
In this case, I get to keep it. Perhaps we give you a second chance, all right?
Okay, so I've used the analogy of you need to fuel your bodies with, right food, with right supplements, with the right things to be at your best. But here's another way of looking at fuel. You can put the best fuel that you... But here's another way of looking at fuel. You can put the best fuel that you want into your body. But it might not make as big a difference as you think it would. Because here's the deal. If you don't have the prime engine, the great engine for the outcomes that you want, the fuel is not going to make the difference. You can't put the best and most purest form of fuel in the world into a crappy engine and expect that car to run really great for a long period of time. Eventually that engine is going to give out regardless of the fuel. So we need to make sure with brain training that we're helping our engine be better. We're fixing the engine and not just putting fuel into it, okay? If we prime our engines right, if we have great engines, which is our mind, now when you add fuel, you're going to take off. So it's not always the fuel, but it's also thinking, I got to rework and fix the engine of my mind so that it can be better. So when I add great fuel like exercise and reading and mental health and other things, that it's making it even better. Now, most people's brain functioning, brain fitness skills peak between the ages of 16 to 25. Okay, not saying this is something that won't happen for everybody. Some people might be able to last a lot longer, or some people don't develop their peak maybe till 18. Some people might be able to last a lot longer, or some people don't develop their peak maybe till 18, 19. But typically, looking at most human brains, you're going to peak cognitively at 16 to 25. With brain fitness training, we want your brains to be peaking well beyond the age of 25. Into your 30s and 40s, okay? And so I bring this up as well because you might think, well, I'm not going to slow down mentally till maybe, I'm 50, 60. No, technically, by science, we do start slowing down at the age of 25, okay? So we want to create that peak to be longer lasting for you so your brain is optimally working. Again, a couple other brain fitness benefits. You have faster thinking. You have better memory for yourself. You get stuff done because you can just get right to it and your mind can process what needs to be done and happen. You start doing new things because when you can think of the things that you already did for the day, I want to try this, I want to do that, I want to experiment with this new concept. You're open, your mind is open to trying those new things. You can find words, thoughts, and ideas much quicker. You're not having to stall and be like, I don't know what to think, I don't know what to do, I don't know how to decide what sentence needs to be formed together to say to my friend. And then finally, there's heightened listening skills because you're able to then interpret more information, process it, and then come together with an idea or an action that you want to have happen for yourself. There's a number of apps and training programs you can find out there. Probably the biggest one is Luminosity. There are other apps that you can get and train with. There are games that help your memory recall, help you think faster, help you work on some of these cognitive skills and that naturally do it in a game setting. But I encourage you to maybe look at something that helps you. Even doing things like puzzles, even doing things like crossword puzzles, they stimulate your brain to help problem solve and see something and work through it. Those things as well are beneficial for your brain. So don't think it has to be some high-tech program or an app you pay for or a light program. It could be as simple as I'm going to do a crossword puzzle. Okay, so we're going to play some brain games here. We're going to work on some cognitive skills for yourself that build the skills we want. So the first one, we're going to do a sequence memory recall. So what's going to happen here is you're going to see a sequence of either numbers, letters, words, colors, and symbols. You'll have about 5 seconds to see the sequence before it disappears from the screen. Now, what I want you to do is remember them. Okay, remember what answers, what was the answer that you saw. You can write it down on paper as quickly as you can to help yourself remember it. All right, then it's going to reappear a few seconds later to see if you got it right or could remember it. Okay, this is something that helps build your memory, helps you to remember information, keep it locked in and stored, and then use it when need to. Okay, so without further ado, the first one's going to happen in 3, 2, 1, go. Did you remember it? The answer was right there. 3, 2, 1. See it? Remember it. I know that was a little bit longer, a little bit tougher. Do you think you could remember it? Do you think you got that answer locked in? Do you think I'm stalling so it makes it harder on you? Yes. The answer, right there. Okay? Number 3. In 3, 2, 1. Now I want you to remember the words, not the words. The words. What do you think the words were? What do you think the words were? What do you think the words were? They were right there. Through the different colors on those words just to distract you and to have you process a little more so that way you're working on processing information better. Last one. 3, 2, 1. Oh, shapes. Can you remember the sequence of shapes and what order they were in? Do you think you got it locked in? Your answer is right there. So just something as simple as that can help you see something, process it, remember it, and then be able to spit it back when you need to. This plays a huge role as you move forward. Okay, for this next game, I want you to spot the face emoji, okay? That is different from every other one. Now, this is going to help you work on your reaction and your processing speed to see something and pick it up, see something and pick it up very quickly to spot the differences. So just in a second, there's going to be a picture that pops up on the screen, okay? And I want you to look at all the face emojis and find the one that is different. Ready, and go. But I'm going to give you the answer in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, answer. Okay, so we've all played that game at the arcade, or you've seen that game at a festival or carnival, the whack-a-mole, where you get there and you have these two mallets in your hands, and as soon as something pops up, you got to see it and smash it, right? You're working on your brain skills, your cognitive fitness, if you didn't know that already, because you're having to see something, interpret that, hey, that mole popped up, I need to smash it, and now I need to move my arm, my hand in this direction so I can do so. You're working on your processing speed, your critical thinking, and reaction time. So what's going to happen here is we're going to play a little whack-a-mole of our own, okay? What I need you to do is to divide your desk, table, or floor, wherever you're at, into two sides. You can put something right down the middle so it makes sure there's a left and there's a right, but you're ultimately creating two moles to whack. Okay, so you need to have something on your left, something on your right. You could also use a piece of paper on your left and your right, something you got to touch, okay? But you need 2 different moles to hit, okay, in this game. Now, Now, here's the deal. The mole on your right side, okay, you're only going to hit it if you happen to see odd numbers and vowels. A, E, I, O, U, sometimes Y. Okay. Now the mole on your left side, you're going to hit that mole if you see an even number or you see all consonant letters. Okay. So reminder, you have 2 moles, one on your left, one on your right. You're only going to hit the mole on your right side if you see an odd number or a vowel. You're only going to hit the mole on your left side if you see an even number or consonants. Okay. That is it. So have your hands ready to go, but you're trying to hit it as quickly as it happens. When the number or letter appears on the screen, okay, you're going to whack the correct mole or side in front of you as fast as you can. All right, be quick, because sometimes the moles will disappear quicker than others. Sometimes they'll hang around for a little bit. It just depends on the speed I might have set it at. All right, but have your hands at the ready so that way you can smack the floor or smack the mole that you set up in front of you. Okay, this is just a simple critical thinking reaction game. All right, so here we go. First one, ready in 3, 2, 1. Did you get it? All right, so that was a 1. So what you should have done is hit the correct mole, which would be yes on that side. Number 2, ready? Did you get it? Get it? Ready for number 3? Very good. Number 4. That was quick. That was quick. Number 5. We're going to go for round number 6 here. Ready and go. Ooh. Round 7 and go. We go round 8. Round 9. Ooh. All right, last one right here. Be ready to go. Be at your quickest reaction time. Good job. That's just another simple activity game you can play on your own just to see how quickly you can react to something, okay? You are training your brain by doing this. You're having to work and make it work faster, make it work harder, just like you would if you were lifting a real weight for your legs or your arms, all right? This week, the activity that I want you to work on is this, all right? I want you to answer these questions down below. I mentioned earlier, our mind is either a beautiful servant or it's a dangerous master. And so I want you to complete the statement, dangerous master. And so I want you to complete the statement by saying, our minds, my mind, is a beautiful servant because why? Okay? And then our minds, my mind, is a dangerous master because why? I want your thoughts on that. Why do you think our mind can be a beautiful servant? Why do you think our mind can be sometimes the dangerous master in our lives and in our wellness, okay? So I want you to complete those 2 sentences, but make sure you're starting each of those sentences with the prompts there below, okay?